The NFL on EA Sports brings us to North Carolina and Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerge from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the Houston Texans. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Come on, baby, let's go, get excited, let's go, let's go.
Now the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10.
Three down, three down. Gun. He's coming up the edge, watch him up the edge. Check your hot read. Mike 51.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Gun.
On the ground, McCaffrey. Taking it right down Broadway. 30, 10, touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, 78 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
There we go.
Now the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There's a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Watch twins. Check 30.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Watson, he's letting this one go for Fuller. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Crunch! Crunch! Kill, 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 kill!
This is McCaffrey, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Greg.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again is Watson. That complete to Lamar Miller. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big-time play there for the Texans. 54 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. On 2nd down, here's Miller. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Set. 19. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Go, go, go.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
We got 25 to Mike. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Hey, 25 to Mike. We got 25 to Mike. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Well, CD, with the end of the season comes the announcement of the All-Pro team, and everybody was like, wait a second, Christian McCaffrey's listed twice. Is that a mistake? No, he got it both at running back and flex. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive, because I think a lot of people thought that if you have a running back and a flex position, that maybe Christian McCaffrey would go into the flex because he catches the ball so well. And you would go ahead and elevate the big guy out of Tennessee, Derrick Henry, to the All-Pro running back. Henry ends up being a second-team guy, but McCaffrey deserves being first-team running back as well as first-team flex. He had a tremendous, spectacular year.
And as you might imagine, Baltimore leads the way. 5 players named to the All-Pro selection. Of course, leading the way for them, the quarterback, Lamar Jackson.
Yes, and rightly so, and I fully expect him to be named the MVP when we get to NFL honors right before the Super Bowl. He's going to sweep all of those, and he deserves it. Carried that team throughout the season and got better in their bigger games.
That's it. 180. Hey, watch the slant. 8. 41 Mike. 41 Mike. Right here. 41 Mike. Nice.
Now a run with McCaffrey. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Gun. Undercut. 20. Great. Express.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Ready.
And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd.
Watch the slant. Check. 20. Mike 20. All day, punt. 8.
From the gun, here's Newton. Completes it to Samuel. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
McKinney on the tackle. 4 yards on the pickup.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Cut.
Newton. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with McCaffrey. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Gun. Hustle. Mike 51.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. That's to McCaffrey, complete. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Great. Check. Kill.
Newton now to throw. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
They're not ready for this. They should have gone down coming. Y'all playing the wrong football. Twist.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 75 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 13-7. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's McCaffrey. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle him up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sift through.
To throw is Newton. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
Check.
They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brian Burns. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Watson with a give to Miller. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And he finds Stills. Complete. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st down, it's Watson. Flush to his right. That's Stills bringing it in. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And he's got Miller. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Texans, 1st down.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Out of the gun, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns, his 2nd sack of the night. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Here we go. Jim. Watch the leg.
Watson now to throw. Forced out to his left. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Ross Cockrell. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Gun. Slam. Come on. Bang. Take four. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. No. 20. Slam. Switches. 8. Come on, switch it. Express.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newton. Airing it out for Olsen. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
65. He's crashing. He's checking crash. 20. Wait. Check back 33. You're trapped. Check. Short. Sponge. No. Check 99. Express.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is caught. He hits more. It's a Panthers 1st down, 17 yards on the play. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
51's the mic. 61. Match box. Right. Alert 3. Joker.
McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
First down, Texans.
Watson on first down. It's complete to Hopkins. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 50-yard line.
We got 25 to Mike. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
From the 50, it's Watson. On the catch, it's Duke Johnson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Lamar Miller. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. On the tackle there, Natrell Jamerson out of Wisconsin. Throwing on second down. Watson buying time to his left. And he's going to keep it here. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
And the Texans.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Throwing on third down, Watson. Flushed out right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by James Bradbury. Trying to get it that time to Stills. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And they work this well upfield across. The NFL on EA Sports brings us to North Carolina and Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerge from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the Houston Texans. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Get ready. Get ready.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
Let's go. Tight into the right, boy. Tight into the right. Move. 3 down, 3 down.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. It's Ross Cockrell that time that made the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Run up. 42. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's go.
Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Third and long, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They're going for it. It's Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10.
Check, 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 check. Under 10, under 10, 10. Watch twist.
A handoff left, McCaffrey. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
Hey, let's go, let's go.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Ready? Right to the 3. Hatchet, hatchet. 8, 8. Gun, gun, gun. Check my 33. Check. Hopper, Hopper. Ball shot. Greg, Greg. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, 44 yards. yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point try good by Gano, and that makes the score 7-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he almost flirted with disaster there, but it does get into the end zone before going out, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. This is Miller. And some space here. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 68 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone for a touchback, so that will come out now to the 25-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. These two teams all tied after 1. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Gun.
Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. On first down, it's Newton. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Newton. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
20.
Throwing again is Newton. Escaping the pressure right. That's to McCaffrey, complete. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Gun. He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Any weapon. Gun. Shot 31. 41. Get it.
On 2nd and 7, Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, Tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Go!
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. They'll try to run to McCaffrey, and he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Panthers have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Miller. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run with Miller.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
I can't believe they even let you play. At 25 to Mike. We're going 25.
To throw on 3rd down, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here I come on. Here I come again. Quick dash. Go. At 25.
On 1st down, it's Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, with that incompletion, Charles, let's talk about the coaching carousel. Some new guys in new places. Ron Rivera to Washington. We got Mike McCarthy in Dallas. Matt Rule up from the college ranks to Carolina. And for the Giants, Joe Judge. Any surprises in your mind?
Well, I think you start with Joe Judge going to the Giants, coming from New England, where he was the special teams coach for most of his career, and this season added wide receivers to his duties. Well regarded within the ranks of the NFL. Not much known about him to the outside world. It's kind of a reveal to everyone. Joe Judge, people will now get to know who he is, because most people thought Matt Rule was going to go to New York. He ends up in Carolina. And then, of course, Ron Rivera, he would have been a candidate for Dallas. He would have been a candidate for New York, as well as Washington. And Washington never let him out of the building. That was a big-time hire for them.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Let's go.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one, as it's good from 56 yards out. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here. So it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half. and they've had the ability to see what you've done, they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Switch. Check 43.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They have the 1st down with that gain of 4 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Gun. Check the ropes now. 33. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Check. Fresno. 36.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 4.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4.
Great. Check Mike 39. Danny.
Out of the gun, Newton. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Carlos Hyde taking it in. And the Texans have retaken the lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 17-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They will go for it. Now Newton. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. That good for 19 and a first down. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 17-yard line.
25 to Mike. We're going 25 to Mike. You don't see me in your nightmares, son.
Miller. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. To throw is Watson on 3rd down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Dante Jackson picks it. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. Barkevious Mingo in that time on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, you got 3 down, 3 down. Check 37, check 37.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Well, let's see. He was 8 of 13 prior to that pass. Now 8 of 14, Charles.
Yeah, that's not horrible, but he's been under a ton of pressure throughout this game. Not able to stay on his spot. You know, quarterbacks talk about that all the time, being able to get to one place, set up and throw. When they make you move a little bit, oftentimes your accuracy suffers.
Newton's pass is on target to Moore. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Newton now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Newton. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 11 now. Newton. Thomas has got it. Complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches.
Oh, here we go. Oh, kill. Turn. Gun. Kill.
On the ground, McCaffrey. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. He's back to throw. Steps away to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Newton. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And we are all tied here in the final stages. Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game, because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson eluding the pressure right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. And if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Again, they run again. It's McCaffrey. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
That's going to be a long day. Gun.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And this one is right down the middle. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range.
He's got a man, complete.
Let's go, baby.
Tonight's final score, Panthers 20, Texans 17.